Leslie, thanks. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the PGA of America and Ryder Cup Europe, I'd like to welcome everyone joining us remotely and those of here with us on site at Whistling Straits to the 43rd Ryder Cup here in Wisconsin. We are very pleased to be joined by our two esteemed captains. On my left, Steve Stricker from the United States, and on my right, European captain Pádraig Harrington. Gentlemen, both of you, thanks so much for not only being with us today, but all week. We understand it's a busy time, and we're grateful for all of your thoughts and insights. Captain Harrington, we will begin with you. As we gather here on the shores of Lake Michigan, a year later than intended, what's your prevailing mindset for your team and the journey to get here?
Yeah, obviously to get here, it's been 3 years, but now that we're here, it seems like it's come around quick. Certainly the end of the journey has been quick. We travelled today and got here. Seems to be a great atmosphere amongst the lads. Very happy with the work that the European Tour has done behind the scenes. Getting our team room was brilliant back at the hotel, and here as well. We've changed. We've really moved a lot around in the Champions locker room. We're just very comfortable. It looks great. So they've done a great job with that. I couldn't be happier. We're ready to go. We've got a few videos that they've made. So the guys will see that this evening, start seeing some of those. So really, we're in a position that we're ready at this stage. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of unknowns during the week, but at this stage, we have prepared for everything and ready to go.
Captain Stricker, this is a home Ryder Cup for the first time in 5 years for the United States, but it's quite literally a home Ryder Cup for you, being a native of Wisconsin. How excited are you to showcase your home state and have it be the backdrop for the greatest event in golf?
Yeah, very excited. Very proud and humbled to be here representing Team USA. Welcome, Pádraig, to Wisconsin. We got to get you a cheese head, I think. Have you ever seen those? A cheese head?
I have seen a cheese head,
yeah.
Yeah? I'm very comfortable with the Green Bay Packers. So.
All right. No, seriously, though, it's been a long time coming. The fans are chomping at the bit to get out here, I'm sure. Wisconsin fans love sporting events, and you know, golf is a big part of Wisconsin as well. You know, we're at the home of basically Herb Kohler and his family, and the family that really got golf put on the map here in Wisconsin. So it's we're showcasing everything right here in our great state. So they're looking forward to it, and we can't wait to get the ball rolling on Friday.
Well, we're rolling now, so let's hit the floor for some questions. Let's start right across the way here on microphone number 4.
Thank you. Hi, Steve. Did you ever imagine in your days at Lake Ripley or Edgertontown that you'd be sitting here one day in the culmination of so much that you've worked for?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, it's been an unbelievable journey. You think back to childhood golf at those two courses you talked about, and all the years playing on tour, and I personally never thought I'd be in this position to captain the Ryder Cup team, and but again, very honored and happy, and it's a great position. I mean, it's fun to be a part of it. Again, very honored and humbled to be doing it. But yeah, you just look back at all the things that have taken place throughout my career, and this was not on my radar for sure. So extremely happy to be a part of it, and we look forward to it for sure.
All right, let's go straight back to number 27, Rex.
Steve, can you just give us an update on Brooks Koepka and how the wrist is doing?
Yeah, I haven't. I've been talking to him, ever since it happened. Check in with him every couple of days, and he tells me everything's 100%. He's ready and raring to go, and I haven't run into him yet today. I've heard that he's here, but I haven't seen him yet. But from what I understand, he's fully healed and ready for everything.
Number 23, Juan.
So I guess this is a question for the two captains. So, right here. Sorry, little guy, yeah. How much of an advantage is to have a team with a lot of experience in the Ryder Cup? And then on the other hand, is it also an advantage to come here without baggage, without the memories of previous Ryder Cups? So,
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, you know, we've got some young guys on the team. I think I saw a stat earlier that we're about, on average, 5 years younger than the European team. The one good thing is we come with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy, young guys willing and ready to learn. No bad experiences for the most part from a lot of these guys. You know, we haven't been on the winning side of things too many times. I think only 3 out of 12 times out of the last 12 times. So, you know, we're not coming with bad experiences. So I think I see that as a positive. We're using that as a positive, and our guys are super fired up and ready to go.
We're going to go back here to Doug at number 20.
For both. Oh, sorry, Patrick. Yep.
Obviously, Europe has a strong team when it comes to experience. I think that's quite relevant when you're playing an away match. You know, if you had two players who one experienced and one not of equal ability, certainly with an away match, you'd be looking for experience. So yeah, I'm very comfortable that my team is that experience. It will be interesting, as I said, at the end of the week. I'm sure the experience versus the non-experience will be trashed out many times to determine what the result was. But certainly, it's pretty tried and tested in Europe that we're going to go with experience when we're coming across here. We do have a few rookies in the team to provide that enthusiasm, but yeah, we're strongly relying on experience.
Okay, Doug, 20.
For both captains, if you could describe just how set your game plan is for the week, and what would be the number one factor in making adjustments to it. Pádraig, you can go first. I mean, you gave it to Steve last time.
Yeah, clearly we have a game plan. Pretty strong game plan all the way through, well prepared. But from being a vice captain, I know that these things, there's unknowns. Things change as you go on in the week. So you do everything you can to have a set program ahead. And then you also have certainly that vice captain's ready for when something happens, something changes, so that you can move quickly, not be acting retrospectively. That you know, even though we don't know what's going to happen, you still have an idea of if X, Y, or Z comes along. Well, okay, we can pivot this way. So yeah, we've got plenty of options, and that's the main thing. But as I said, if everything went smoothly, which very rarely does, you could probably set out everything now. But as I said, we will expect some unknowns and some things to happen that will need to be dealt with.
Well, let's go over to your right.
Stricker needed to answer that one too. Sorry.
Oh,
Bud.
I'm sorry. We doing doubles here? Okay. My fault.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way as Pádraig here. We got an early start on things, obviously, with the practice round here a week ago. We've got a really good, sound game plan already in place. But again, there's always little things along the way that can creep up. Anything. A guy could be playing poorly, or he could get hurt or injured. But you got to just be prepared with multiple options, and we are going to be preparing that way. So I think we've both been a part enough of these teams. You see it throughout the years, and you understand you need to be prepared coming into these.
Okay, number 7 over here.
You guys over here. People love to debate how important a captain is in the Ryder Cup, myself included. And having been in that chair for 3 years, I was curious, has your opinion on that question changed at all? I would love to hear from both of you, actually.
We're playing doubles here.
Well, it's pretty clear. We've seen good captains lose. We've seen bad captains win. But ultimately, the captain does have an influence if it's a tight game. And that's really it. If it is going to be a tight game, which a lot of these are, the captain and the atmosphere he brings to his team can be the difference. So yeah, it's one of those things for us that many times the captain will not be the actual difference, but it's possible that we could be the very difference we could make that difference at the end of the week. So we have to prepare like, you know, we're the ones that are going to make a little bit of a difference that gets our team across the line.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've seen it, great captains win and lose. I've seen poor captains lose. You know, so I've seen, or win, I guess. But they can definitely influence a team. But I keep saying I think it's a thankless job. You know, I mean, you're going to get blamed if you lose, right? And all the credit goes to the players if they win, which is fine. And we understand that, I think, coming into this. And but you wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, you want to be a part of these competitions, and you want to be the guy leading this team and being in charge, and you wouldn't want to have it any other way.
Neil, number 8.
Yeah, good afternoon. Question for Steve. What steps have you taken or will you take to ensure everything goes smoothly between Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau this week? Have you sat them down together for a chat, and will you send them out together in practice?
It's a non-issue really for me and the team. We got together a few weeks ago, the 6 of us. I've had conversations with them both. They've assured me that it's not going to be an issue. Yeah, so I have no worries whatsoever. Will we pair them together? I don't think so at this point, but things could change. It could always happen, but, you know, probably not. But, again, I had a dinner. They all showed up. We had great conversation, great talks. So I'm not seeing it as an issue at all, and they're completely on board.
Let's go your front right, captains number 1.
Thank you. I'd love to hear from both captains if possible in this. How much can we read into the practice pairings from tomorrow? Will there be a bit of smoke and mirrors to try to throw the opposite captain off?
Read into it like you should. You know, that's your job in the media, is to make a story out of it. You know, I'm not going to say what it means or what it doesn't mean. You know, in the end of the day, I do have ideas about what should be happening in practice, but you know, it's for you to figure it out, not me to tell you.
Yeah, it's you're going to get that same stock answer from me too. Yeah, I mean, we're still in the process. We have good ideas about our pairings, but we're still in the process of, you know, finalizing things, ironing things out, which direction we want to go. But yeah, whatever Pádraig said.
We're going to go here, Jeff, number 19, and 26 next.
This is one of the grandest stages in golf, and we see a format inside it that we don't get to see often with the foursomes. As players, did you learn to embrace the foursomes, and how do you get some of your younger guys to kind of find comfort in it?
I was brought up playing foursomes. I played it a lot as an amateur golf. Many in my team have. So yeah, it's not really alien to us. It's certainly somewhere that I don't think because it's not so alien to us, we don't read that much into it. I think sometimes when people haven't played it, they can overcomplicate it. But as I said, I was brought up playing it. It's actually played in our golf clubs at home, not just in championships. So, yeah, just a very common game, and really don't read into it any more than there should be. And I think sometimes you guys, again, might look at it and try and it's just 2 guys playing a golf ball around the place. It's not that difficult when you're brought up playing it.
Steve?
Yeah, I think, you know, we always tend to try to look for guys with similar game styles or game styles that would complement the other player. You know, good putting always is a big key, I think, in alternate shot or in foursomes. You know, and you look for the guys who embrace that. I think that's the important part. Is some guys are a little bit they don't care for that style of play, and other guys want to play it. And it depends on the player, and it's up to us or our job to try to figure out those guys and try to pair the games together that make the most sense.
Bob Harrig, 26.
Back here. This is for Steve. Steve, I think since you played in the President's Cup the last time in 13, you've been part of this every year, maybe except one, as an assistant, obviously the captain, 17 at the President's Cup. What have you learned and taken from all that? I mean, what What did you see that you think is helping you now?
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot, you know, as being an assistant captain more so than being a player. And yeah, it's just learning what works well with the players, what doesn't work well. I'm probably the most experienced captain really that's ever been a captain. If I want to be truthful with you, I've been a part of every team since I've quit playing on these teams. So and a captain of the 17 President's Cup team. So I've seen a lot of different things. I've seen some things that worked. I've seen some things that hasn't worked. So, you know, I've put all those in my memory bank over the years and hopefully, you know, lean on those things that I've learned and apply them to this week. But, yeah, it's been fun to get to know the other side of things other than the player side, and definitely have learned a lot.
Something specifically you have cut out, maybe just in the lead up? I'm not talking about pairings or whatever, but just, you know, things that you would normally do that you said, no, we're not doing that. We don't like that.
No, not really. I don't think. You know, I think the biggest thing that I have brought or I want to bring is just communication. You know, and I think the hardest part is when you don't communicate to your players. I've seen that over the years. If you throw a guy a curveball at the last second, it's hard for these guys to adjust. I mean, they're a product of you know, when they're playing on a weekly basis, they're doing a routine day in and day out, and you want to make sure that you don't get in the way of that routine so much. You know, give them enough lead time, give them some notice when they're going to play, so they can prepare well to go out and play.
All right, we're going to beam ourselves out with Herman Fulvik. Herman, where are you calling from? And please direct your question to one of the captains.
I'm from VG in Norway. Question to Harrington. You said that everybody wants to play with Victor Hovland, but he's just a debutant at the same time. Can you say how your plan is for Hovland this week? Can he play all the 5 matches?
He certainly can. You know, the reason players want to play with him is he's not just a good player. They like the enthusiasm that he brings to the golf course. I think all us older guys look at Victor and we see the youthful exuberance that we once had. And, you know, I think that's why he's such an attractive partner for anybody in the team, for foursomes or fourballs. So Victor brings a lot of options during the week, that's for sure.
Let's go abroad one more time. Ewan, you're up with the captains. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, John. Steve, if I may, just come back to Brooks, please. He made some comments last week about the Ryder Cup, which, you know, gained a lot of traction and suggested he was a bit maybe indifferent towards the week. What did you make of that, and did it concern you at all heading into this event?
Yeah, I've talked to him about it. I've had experiences with Brooks over many of these teams, and the conversations that I've had with him and what I've personally seen in the team room doesn't jive up to what I was reading in those articles. So again, I am not worried about Brooks. He assures me he's healthy. He assures me that he is 100% all in on this team and whatever he needs to do for this team to become, you know, the winner at the end of the week. So again, I'm not worried about Brooks at all, and it's been good talks, and he's ready to get down and start playing.
Let's go in-house here, number 24. Oh, I'm sorry, number 21.
This is for both captains. How do you guys see the role of the caddy different in a Ryder Cup versus a regular golf tournament? And as captains, do you have to coach or advise the caddies on how to do their job any differently this week than others?
Clearly, these are the best caddies in the world. Why would we be telling them what to do? They know their job. It is a difficult week for the caddies. There's a physical requirement. If they go 36 holes a day, they need to stay very mentally sharp. So yeah, it's a different week for them, that's for sure. And there's no doubt that in many ways it's nearly a thankless job. They'd be forgotten about at times, but they really do. They really pull their weight when it comes to tournament golf, but no more so than at the Ryder Cup.
Okay, number 10, back right for the captains.
Hey, Pádraig, over the years, obviously, when you're if it's a U.S. team, it's pretty easy for them to rally or play for their country, all that kind of stuff. Europe obviously is a different situation. What has been kind of a common rallying point to get Europe in players?
Pretty straightforward, Sevi. It started with Sevi in the 80s. He pushed for this to become a continent of Europe rather than a Great Britain and Ireland, and it was a way for Sevi to legitimise the European Tour. It was a way to give the European Tour a standing. The great players in Europe at the time didn't get access to play in all the best events in the world. Sevi was fighting against the tide in that, and playing and winning in the Ryder Cup was a way to say that Europe deserved a seat at the table. And you look at the great players we had in the 80s, and a lot came from Sevi and those players to drive Europe into a much stronger position in world golf. And without a doubt, we rely on Sevi for that. We have we're here to very much play for the European Tour. When I'm playing in Europe at the moment, the last couple of weeks, South African players, Australian players, and Asian players who play in our tour come up to me and wish me luck or rooting for us, because they know it's a big part of our tour how we do in the Ryder Cup. So yes, the technicality of qualifying is being born in the continent of Europe, but the reality is we are playing for the European Tour.
Gary, number 3.
Steve, there's always a danger that the wrong tweet could become a big story at an event like this at the Ryder Cup. What have you told your guys about social media and guidance toward that?
Yeah, we're going to pay attention to that, and we're going to talk about it, and they've been good, and knock on wood, they won't say anything that they shouldn't say. But yeah, again, I don't think it'll be an issue at all, and yeah, I think we don't have any mandates like, hey, we're not going to do any social media this week or anything like that. But they'll be smart about it. I think they all realize they do this on a daily basis, and they know they need to be careful and cautious on what they put out there.
Number 10.
I'm good.
11.
Okay, number 12.
Okay. This is a question for Steve. Hi, Steve. It's a long-established feeling that European success has been underpinned by team spirit, as well as having excellent golfers. I wonder if that's something you agree with, and if so, what have you done to create a better bond among your team?
Yeah, and I think that's a misconception amongst our team. I think, when you're getting beat, it's hard to look like you're bonded, right? And they've done a really good job of that, of beating us 9 out of the last 12, like I said. So, but I've been a part of plenty of these team rooms where the chemistry inside is nothing but great. Sure, we've had occasional hiccups along the way, but I think for the most part, it's always been very good. Guys are anxious to play. They're very excited to play for USA, to wear the red, white, and blue, to be here in Wisconsin. Yeah, it's all fine. It's all good, and yeah.
Okay, we're going to beam out to Janice. Janice, you're with the 2 captains. Go ahead, sir. Janice, you on mute by chance?
Oh, John, I know you wouldn't let Bob up to ask a question, so I'm coming in under Janet's self. Her voice didn't get deeper. Anyway, my question is for both captains. Congratulations, guys. You've done a great job leading up. Can both of you or either one of you honestly say that you would accept right now all even going into Sunday's singles matches? First you, Pádraig, you're the visitor.
We don't get to choose that. It's a good question, but why would we bother think like that? We don't get to choose what we're going to be going into Sunday. We've got to play as hard as we can Friday, Saturday, and see where we're at. If I'm going to start, dreaming and predicting and wanting, sure, there's plenty of other things we could look for in life. I think I'll go for having half a dozen shots lead rather than go for even. What do you think? I think you'd do the same.
Yeah, I don't know if either one of us would like to have even going into Sunday. I think we're both looking a little bit more of having a lead going into Sunday, and I'm sure he's thinking the same way. I know we are as a team thinking of having a lead going into Sunday. So we're both trying to prepare that way. We're both trying to get to that point so we have a lead going into Sunday for sure.
Going to go back right, number 11.
Question for Pádraig. You joked about the Packers when you first came up here, and that's pretty much what everyone associates with Wisconsin. But I'm curious now that Whistling Straits has had 3 PGAs and now a Ryder Cup. In Europe, is this course starting to get noticed along with some of the more other popular North American courses?
Oh, for sure. I think maybe I'd be a little bit biased, because obviously Herb Kohler, when he was building this here, he was thinking of Ballybunion in Ireland, so it has some relevance to us Irish, and we would have known about it with the Irish connection. I do think Whistling Straits and Herb Kohler has put this part of Wisconsin on the map when it comes to golf throughout Europe. I'm sure the PGAs did that, but the Ryder Cup will probably elevate it to a new level. It's amazing what one individual, one family can do for an area, and it is very impressive. And I think we're thankful of her being here, and I'm sure everybody in the area who've the economy has gained so much from it. It really is important to have people like that backing their hometown.
Okay, we're going to go back to number 9, back right again.
Steve, obviously it could be the biggest home course advantage as far as fans go in Ryder Cup history. How do you use that to fuel your team? And for both captains, Pádraig, how do you, basically, what if anything, do you teach your guys or tell your guys to drown out the noise and not listen to the haters, so to speak?
Yeah, every time you play at home or you realize you're going to have a home course, or home field advantage, basically, when it comes to the fans. So, you just go out and embrace it. Let them energize you, let them pick you up. So almost show off for them, right? It seems like our teams over the years, the teams that have played well, they get to the point of almost like they show off for the home fans, and hopefully that's what our guys are going to do this week and provide a lot of excitement. And like I said before, I know the state of Wisconsin, and I said this maybe a week or two ago, I understand there's ticket holders from every state in our country, 50 states in our country that are going to be here. So it's not just Wisconsin, but the whole country is showing up. It's been a long time waiting, and everybody's excited to get this thing going.
From our perspective, our players play for the glory of this event. If there was 40,000 US fans and no Europeans, we prefer that than having no fans. That's just the reality. We want the noise, we want the excitement, we want the buzz of it all. Yes, the players will have to deal with it. Yes, they have to embrace it, but they wouldn't want the alternative. Having no fans is no fun. So, they're going to enjoy it, and we expect a loud crowd. We expect excitement, and the players should be well prepared for it. And it's not like they haven't seen it before. And after all, it is only golf. It's a pretty, they're pretty safe inside the ropes. I don't think they need to worry about too much.
Okay, we have time for 2 or 3 more. We're going to go to number 14.
Steve, you brought the team up early because you said you wanted to get to know the course in a way that in other Ryder Cups the team never really got to. Do you feel like you did that? And what else were you trying to accomplish with that trip? And did you accomplish that going into this week with the team?
Yeah, it was a great couple of days, and I think my message from day one is to try to out-prepare. And the schedule, the way the tour ended this year and having some time off in between the Tour Championship and the Ryder Cup gave us that ability to come up here, to not only see the course, but to get here as a team, to get these guys comfortable with one another right out of the chute, to build that camaraderie. And I feel like everything came together really well in those couple of days, and they left here feeling good, and they came here feeling good as well. So it was a good couple of days we had.
Number 6, straight across.
Just some couple of quick ones, Steve. Is there any chance at all that Tiger will make any visit here this weekend, or is that not going to happen?
Yeah, probably not going to happen. And he's been, you know, obviously in my year a lot, and I call him pretty regularly. He's part of our Ryder Cup team. You know, he's part of what we do. He's been part of so many of these teams. So to bounce ideas off of him, all of us, players alike. I know some of the players went over to see him. But I think it's just not a good time for him to be here physically just because of where he's at in his rehabilitation, and tough course to walk, right? I mean, everybody's going to see it. It's from tee to green. It's difficult, and so probably won't show up. But he's getting better and feeling better, and his focus and mind is on, you know, making a comeback to play again. So we don't want to get in the way of that because we'd all love to see him come back and play.
Quick one, Pádraig. John Rahm was obviously a bit crook last week. Is he back to fighting fitness?
He was lifting very nicely in the gym today when I arrived. I was, after hearing the reports last week, I arrived in to find him too sweaty to give a hug, to lifting some heavy weights. And I says, okay, things are looking good.
Okay, we're going to wrap things up here with dog number 20.
Stricker, I ask this just based on all your years of experience, as you mentioned, as a vice captain. What is the difference between the looseness and the confidence of the U.S. team in the President's Cup and the Ryder Cup? And is it simply a difference of winning one cup all the time and losing the other one most of the time?
Yeah, and that's a great question, and we get that question asked a lot. Why aren't we winning Ryder Cups like we are President's Cups? And if we had that answer, we'd be winning more Ryder Cups, I think. And I don't know. It's I don't know if we're getting in our own way at sometimes. You know, I'm also trying to bring an energy that a little bit more relaxed. You know, and I don't know if we play a little bit more relaxed in the President's Cup teams versus the Ryder Cup, but yeah, we're trying to learn all the time on between the two. Different competition, obviously. Europe brings a strong team, and they play well and are tough, and we always have tough matches. It seemed to have gone their way more times than ours lately, but we look to try to change that this week and move on. But yeah, we're worried about this one and just trying to win this one.
Okay, gentlemen, you've put us off to a good start for this week, and again, we appreciate your time tonight and all week long. Have a good evening, and thanks again.
Thank you. Sweating. You got too many clothes. You too. You too. Let's wash your hands.